Just kidding.
Yeah, I don't think we need another countdown. I think one's good.
I think we should do it twice.
Samuel Elliott Platt the third. How are you?
Elliot, where did you come up with that?
The third. Where'd I come up with that,
I know. I'm doing great, brother. How are you?
dude?
Chazalin, I got nothing.
Listen, I'm struggling. I'm struggling. Today has been we haven't had power since 2:30. It came on 45 minutes ago. Our house is hot. We've
Oh,
been it's oh I
man.
I got down here to the Cluttered Basement Studios about 2.5 minutes ago.
Well, there you go. Well, that's about par for the course, though, right? Really.
Yeah, a little bit. So
The good news is out in our studio, we got the air conditioning working, so we're sitting pretty right now. So
okay,
hopefully
great.
you
Rub it
can't
in.
hear you can't hear the wind on the thing. Anyway, guys, we've got a super special episode tonight. And we're going to introduce you to our guest, which most of you probably already know, shortly. But first, we have a product drop we've got to cover.
I sent you that link. Did you get it?
I did not get it. Where did you send it to me?
Sorry, I forwarded it to your email. Sorry, I
Oh,
saw you messaged me when I was walking down the
no.
stairs and I was trying not to trip and die.
Okay, I'm working on it. Give me 2 seconds. I did not check my email. I guess I should check my email before I do this.
But while you're doing that, we've got a good number of folks with us tonight. Go ahead and chime in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from.
Yes, that's a good thing. And the other thing you need to do is do the
I mean,
quadfecta.
yeah, we do that too.
Yeah.
And Ken, he's already pointing out our disorganization, which he's met me, so he should at least know to expect that part from me.
Yeah, I got a no email from you. So
Well, cool.
I guess we move on. And if I can pull it up, I'll pull it up. But I got no email from you.
All right. There was supposed to be pictures and a link. So,
I got nothing. So
all right. Well, here's what we'll do, though. Here's what we'll do.
We haven't had this many problems for a long time.
Listen, we've got Only RCs in the chat. They have been a phenomenal partner of mine, a big sponsor of my channel since I had like 50 subs. They have designed shirts and my banner and all kinds of stuff for me. They have recently started a partnership with Mount Olympus RC, and he has his 1 year anniversary. I think it's his 1 year anniversary for his channel. They're dropping a special shirt for his anniversary and kind of 4th of July USA rah rah kind of stuff.
America.
America. We saw pictures of it. It looks great. It looks so good. So go to onlyrcs.com, check that stuff out. I have a discount code with the video descriptions on my channel. You can get 20% off. Mount Olympus also has a discount code on his channel. You can get 20% off. So it just depends on which one of us you like better. That's all.
That's it. That's it. Only RC's on here. If you want to post it in the chat and the live stream, post a link, please, because
Yeah.
obviously we're failing at our jobs, but
We are not doing good.
we're not doing good today. It wasn't a good day today. Anyway, it's going to be a good day because right now, at this very moment, let me introduce formally our guest tonight.
All right, listen up, RC junkies and scale crawling champions. Rev up those motors and clear the pit lane. Tonight, on a very special episode of Remotely Controlled, we're welcoming a true legend in the micro RC game. A man who doesn't just build rigs, he tears them down to the nuts and bolts, proving that anyone with passion and a screwdriver can turn wrenches on an RC car. Whether you're a first-timer or seasoned scaler, he shows that greatness is built one screw at a time. But don't let the slow crawl fool you. When the track lights flash and the mini-Zs line up, he's all about speed. Speed, precision, and next-level reflexes. Whether he's burning laps or turning torsion bars, he's as fierce on the track as he is on the rocks. Coming to you straight from the shop, Mini RC, he's the wizard of wheelbase, the sultan of scale, the man with a wrench in one hand and a remote in the other. He's turned hobby grade into Hall of Fame, a true craftsman with a mad love for crawl and the race. Ken and Pilcher.
Build a car, build a course, and build a community, then smash it, crash it, and bash it. See you guys next time. Don't break the expensive parts. Peace. You guys are ridiculous.
How
What?
about that?
What? What?
How about it?
I can't live up to that. I mean,
You were shaking your head.
I can't live up to that intro. Bravo, gentlemen.
Let's switch you over here, get you a better view of you. Not that guy.
Mr.
This
Kenneth
guy.
Lamont Pilcher II.
What is up, guys?
Where are you coming up with these names? My
Yeah, I don't know.
goodness.
I don't know.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the grand introduction. The most grand I've ever had, ever.
The Wizard of Wheelbase? Is that what it was?
Something like that.
The Sultan of Scale. I remember that one.
Sultan of Scale. That's partially true. I have a bone to pick with every company that tries to argue certain trucks or certain scales. So I guess I'm the Sultan of Scale. UTB 14, brother. UTB 14.
I had to point it out.
Anyway,
How you doing, Ken?
I'm doing great. Busy as
Good.
always. How are you guys?
Good. We're I mean, Chaz has power. That's a thing,
I
apparently.
might not have internet, so we'll see how that goes.
We'll make it work one way or the other.
There's a reason I don't do a lot of live streams. I'm bad internet, bro.
Well, when you live in the valley,
The valley. The valley.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how mountains work.
Well,
Yeah,
it's the
that's
foothills.
I live in Indiana. We don't have any of that.
The Rocky Mountains. We are kind of blocked in by we're in the shade, in the shadow of the Rocky Mountains, if you will.
The biggest elevation change we have in Indianapolis are potholes.
I think we established that when Adam was on.
Right. Now we're lucky out here. We have amazing terrain. So I mean, any YouTuber that creates crawler content would kill to have what we have here, and then also what Sam has in Utah. We're lucky. You guys on the East Coast, I'm sorry.
We are very fortunate. Absolutely.
I got the most beautiful cornfields you could imagine.
I mean,
hey, there is something about a cornfield coming from a farm. There's something about a cornfield. So
there's not much about a cornfield.
Yeah, I don't know that you can crawl over corn, but maybe.
No. Unless you got a combine.
Unless you got a full scale, I guess you could. Maybe.
You guys could make some really cool tracks out there. You have plenty of space for tracks, right?
It's true. That is true. There's a lot of truth to that.
It's got to find rocks for courses, but just building micro B tracks and dirt tracks, race.
Yeah, but we're too spread out. I mean, Indy's like there's a nice concentration of people, but whatever. Why are we talking about this? Ken, thanks for joining us.
You guys aren't sticking to the script. I'm testing you. So I'll talk forever.
Wait, how do you know we're not
2.5 hour stream, guys? Sorry.
How do you know we're not sticking to the script? Did Sam cheated?
I
don't know if you're sticking. I know I saw you pick it up and you're like, let's get back to this. I
always got to listen. We will not ever be done with this show if we don't have like some kind of structure.
I mean, that's another reason I don't do lives. They're like 8 hours long. So
I literally, when I was putting the show notes together, I literally like told Sam, I was like, I think the show notes are done. I kept them short because we're gonna have Ken on.
I mean, that's fair.
Have you seen his live streams? Yes.
Have you seen my edited videos? I mean,
yeah, his 6-hour movie that was Beat the Creek. That was Beat the Creek.
It was 3.5, almost 4.
Oh well, yeah. Originally you said it was 2 or 2.5. I said no, it's close to 4. It was awesome.
I watched most of it. I didn't actually get to the end of it though.
I don't expect everybody to watch all of it.
It's cool though. I love that type of stuff. I really do. It's a lot of fun to see.
I thought about like breaking that stuff into smaller videos, and I'm just like, why? Like, I might as well just, if you're gonna watch it, you're gonna watch it. If you get bored, you're not gonna come back to the second part or third part. Like, just put it on there. People can put it on and work on their rigs, have it up on their TV or on their phone sitting next to them, and work on their stuff. And when something captures their interest, they can look over and turn up the volume.
Yeah,
I turn it on when I'm at work in the office, and yeah, whatever. People come in. It's fine. It's fine.
Then they know he's a true nerd.
Hey, I know you all are true nerds because we're all watching this. We're doing this live stream.
We are doing this. Well, I don't know how do we. I guess we've already introduced you. Everybody kind of knows who you are. You're a little bit of a celebrity in the RC world, for sure.
There's a little bit of a reputation.
Yeah.
So what we'll do?
It's true.
What we'll do, if you have a question for Ken, if that's what you're here for tonight, drop it in the chat.
Yep.
We'll do our best to work those in as we go along. We do have some questions already kind of in mind, but we'll try to work in anything that you guys are able to throw at us as well. So if you came with something on your mind, let us know.
Yes, 100%. And we're going to do our best to keep this right, give or take an hour.
I'll try. I'll try. I
All right.
stopped talking. Let you guys keep going.
All right. Let's get going. Let's get going, Chaz.
All right. Well, all right. Okay. So first thing I want. Ken, I want you to lay some stuff out for us because you and I have talked about this a few different times, and so I know a little bit, but I don't know very much, and I think that there's a lot of interesting tidbits in your history that would be really cool to share with people.
Okay.
So, can you give us a little bit of your background, your hobby background, not just RCs, but like
Sure.
your
Yeah.
history in hobbies?
So, I mean, I'm gonna way nerd out here, so I'm gonna get lots of judgments. But I started my hobbies real. So I had my RC was really kind of my first, honestly. Like so, maybe Lego, right? When you're a young kid, Lego. But then
Well,
when I
I mean,
was
come on.
super young, I had some very old RCs. One of the first ones I really messed with was an old Nitro that I bought at a garage sale for like $30.
Yeah,
An
how
old
old were
Nitro,
you
and
with
it
a
was an airplane,
nitro?
not just any Nitro. Sorry, Nitro airplane.
Good
Oh,
lord.
Yeah. And
yeah.
my uncle, I got it because I knew my uncle was way into airplanes. And so he had like 15 RC airplanes at the time. And so I was like, if I buy this, my uncle can help me out. So he kind of did. And I flew it like once. My dad and him flew it mostly, but I flew it like once. I was like 13 years old, 12 years old. And I had an old electric, that's like a grasshopper or something. I don't remember what it was, honestly, but it had a mechanical speed control, kind of like a slot car. And a
Yeah.
servo moved the speed control. So I
Yeah.
had one of those. And then while we were at the hobby store once, my dad and I, we came across a Nitro 8 scale buggy, like all wheel drive buggy. And I was like, I want that. So he ended up saying for our birthday, because our birthday's on the same day, if you pay for half, I pay for half. We'll buy it, we'll build it, we'll run it. It was like $600 at the time,
Did he
which
have to like
that's a lot.
remortgage the house for that?
Dude, that's like, like by today's standards, is like a $1,500 RC car. And
Yeah.
I
Holy
was
cow.
13, 14 years old or something. So, but I had my money saved up. We bought it for each other for our birthday. We never got the thing running right. We gave it back to Hobby Town. They had it for 2, 3 weeks. They're like, just keep it running long enough to break the motor in. We couldn't keep it running. Anytime you give it throttle, it die. It was just a mess. It
Yeah.
got put in a box along with a 24th scale on-road little driver training machine thing that I bought that from somebody the last time I was ever at that Hobby Town. And then that was it. I never saw the hobby again. Um, well, obviously I did, but for a very long time. So after that, I got into gaming real heavy, like card gaming, nerd gaming. So I've got 30 years of Magic the Gathering behind me. I have an extraordinary amount of old school cards, vintage cards. If anybody knows anything about that game, some of those cards are highly valuable. So I think one of my highest cards there is probably like $7,000 or $8,000 for one single Magic card that I think I paid $100 for. So there's a lot of cool stuff in that space, not just the nerdy gaming side, but I kind of grew up in hobby stores, whether it was RCs or gaming. And so I really nerded out in gaming for a while, and I did that for, like I said, I still do it, but not as much now that I'm back into RC. But I was also a game designer for 10 years. I did
Yeah.
tabletop game design.
Yeah.
So that's kind of part of what brought me into the RC MCCA rule set for microcrawling. Is I was a rules designer for card games, so I felt like I could give that to the RC MCCA and help make sure their rules were kind of ironclad and not no holes in them and stuff like that, just coming from a hardcore rules writing standpoint. So yeah, I did 10 years of game design. I worked on a game called The Spoils, which has a 10-year long history. I did that for 5 years. We won awards. We were the fan favorite for Origins. We beat out Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! As a fan favorite that year. So that was huge. And then after that game, I had some internal issues with the team I hired. They basically thought they could do it better than me, even though I had been doing it. And they had a mutiny. And so they threw me overboard. And the owner of the company, being in Denmark, couldn't do much. So I kind of lost that. And then the game died within 6 months.
Hey, when I was in college, I started a band and then I got kicked out of my own band. So I'm with you, and I know
You know
what you mean.
exactly how it feels. Yes. Off the back of that, the notoriety of that, I got another gig, not a gig, but me and another partner, actually one of the original designers of that card game that I never had worked with before because they were part of a different company. We started our own, another one after Spoils, and it was a crypto-based card game because I was heavy into crypto, which is another one of my hobbies. One of my problems is I
Don't
go deep.
don't get him started on crypto.
Dude, I go deep into the hobbies. I get into, I
Yeah.
mean, I'll show you this, kind of cool. I got into gold and silver at one point, and I have a 100-ounce brick of solid silver, 99 pure silver
That's cool.
that
That's
sits on
way
my
That's
cool.
desk.
really cool.
And little tiny silver Lego treasure chests because I'm also heavy into Lego. So you can't really see them, but they're tiny little Lego treasure chests, and some of them are full of gold.
Are they functional?
Yes.
Like the
Wow.
little clothes? Nice.
And it's all 99 silver or gold, whatever. So I got real heavy into gold and silver at one point. I got heavy into collectible firearms. I got NFA stuff for firearms. If anybody's into firearms and understands that kind of stuff. So I was restoring old firearms. I have a problem. I go deep when I get into a hobby, which is kind of how I ended up back into RC.
How many fish tanks do you
Makes
have?
sense.
Oh, Jesus. So fish tanks. We started fish tanks less than 6 months ago, maybe 4 months ago, something like that. And we have like 7 of them now.
I have one,
That was
and
my
you have
break.
7, and I've done
Yeah.
fish my
So,
whole
so
life.
I kind of had a burnout moment a couple months ago that I think all YouTubers go through at some point.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
You just, yeah, you go hard for only so long before it's like, what am I doing? I can't do, I'm doing the same thing. And you may love it. Like I love it. It's irrelevant that I got burned out because I love it. And I kept pushing and I pushed past the burnout. And, but during some of those points, you have to take a step back, right? You have to be able to say, what else can I find interest in? Just take me off this just for a minute, just to kind of give me something new. And again, I'm the type that goes super deep into stuff. Lately, I've been into AI really heavily. I've been back into crypto because I think they're kind of tied together. And I think there's a lot of financial possibilities there. So I don't want to miss out on that while I'm doing this. Because I have missed out on a lot of things by diving deep into one thing. When I was doing game design, I missed out on Bitcoin very early, very early. And I was going to go heavy into Bitcoin, but I couldn't devote the time to it because I was so heavy, hyper focused on the one thing. And I wish that was one of the biggest regrets I have is I wish I would have not pushed so hard on that. And I would have diversified my interests just a little bit. And I felt myself going down that road with the RC stuff. So I felt like fish were a good answer. So we went and did fish for a little bit, but
RC Granny left a comment that said that you've got an ocean of tanks. RC Granny actually has the world's greatest tank,
yes.
the Great Barrier Reef.
Your
So,
reef, right?
I mean, it's kind of tough to beat
Australia.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
RMRC has a question though. He's asking fresh or salt water. What do you got?
I do fresh right now. I don't if I go salt, then I no longer have the shop mini RC. I have the shop saltwater aquariums because I know how people go into that. So
And salt's expensive, and it's a lot of maintenance, and freshwater
Oh,
are easy.
the creep gets everywhere. Spoken from a creep. Anyway, that transitions beautifully into the next question I have for you. So you mentioned the shop tanks, then the shop mini RC, the shop, the brand, the shop, and you just started a new Facebook page. You and I have chatted about this a little bit before.
yeah.
Explain to us why the shop mini RC, because it's kind of a unique name,
Yeah, it's
but
very generic, and so it doesn't fit a niche directly, which is why it's the shop mini RC because I needed to be able to have a niche a little bit, but in the grand scheme, in the big picture, the shop. So we always, when I was growing up, because I grew up in hobbies, we always went to the shop. Didn't matter what it was, the RC shop, the coin collecting shop, and the comic shop, the game shop. It didn't matter. We always just went to the shop. Hey guys, do you want to ride your bike up to the shop? Yeah, we'll go to the shop. Everything was always the shop. And ever since I was 14, 15 years old, I was like, it'd be cool to own a place called the shop where you did hobby stuff. And so it's always been my dream to someday open up the shop official brick and mortar store where I encompass all of the hobbies that I love that make sense in the shop, right?
yeah.
We'll probably have a fish tank in there, but we won't deal in fish, you know?
No,
But
that would be.
yeah,
Be wild. That
You
would be
don't want
wild.
Well, yeah.
comics and game cards in with water. It's just not a good
Yeah, it's
combination.
not the best idea, but you can put Lego in aquariums, so maybe we'll do.
You can.
We can do that.
And some RC electronics, but not all.
RC submarines,
RC
Yeah.
submarines,
RC
RC
boats.
boats.
If I have a big
Yep.
enough aquarium,
Yep.
I got a video coming out in a couple of weeks with an RC kayak. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I've
Sure.
seen those little guys.
Sure.
They're
Yeah.
so fun. They're super simple and they're so
Yeah.
fun. And they're 20
I might
bucks.
I might have to get one to go to Lake Powell this year because they look a lot of fun.
Yeah, they look super
It's
fun.
it's
If
so
you've seen
simple, and we took it down a waterfall, and it was awesome.
That's so cool. Yeah,
if
so I'd love to be able to bring all kinds of different hobbies under one roof. I feel like it's good to cross pollinate. You know, people come in to do micro crawling or mini Z racing or micro B racing or drifting, and they're RC guys and they know nothing of the other side of the nerd world. And they go in there and there's people painting up Warhammer figures or building car models or doing a Lego build off competition or playing card games, you know, and it goes for all those. You know, people come in to buy Lego and they see RC or they see card games. Card game guys are playing their tournament and they're waiting for their next round and they're like watching the dudes drift RCs or rock crawl. Like they're like, this looks cool, you know. So I love the idea of building community around hobbies that people love and sharing those hobbies. So like it plays both of those. So someday I'll open the shop. I already have a YouTube channel for the shop, Click and Bricks, which is a Lego
Yep.
channel with like 2 videos on it. The shop, Gaming Gamers, and then like you said, I just started the shop General, which is gonna be the house for the brick and mortar. I also have the shophobbies.com, which just right now is just links to all of my different communities because I have a ton of Facebook communities. And I wanted to be able people to go to the shophobbies.com and find all the different communities that I'm a part of that I help run. See if they're interested in that stuff too, they can join that and they'll know that the community is hopefully well run and free of spammers and scammers.
So a
Yeah.
quick plug and clarification. So if you guys have seen, sorry, I got
You're
I
choked
know
up.
well.
it's moving. It's moving and emotional. I know.
If you guys have seen in the last week and a half, things coming out on Facebook from the shop, that is Ken
Yeah.
under the shop umbrella. So that's a new page,
Yeah. So
but
part
it's
of
still
that,
Ken.
yeah, part
It's
of
just
that
not
was
all RC is all.
Yeah, part of that was that I have to reinforce the trademark that I'm working on. So I'm working towards a trademark for the shop in the hobby space. And to reinforce that trademark, I have to have the shop only. I don't want to confuse
Right.
it with the shop mini RC. And
Yep.
the trademark I own and the business I've registered is the shop. But the trademark
Right.
I'm working on owning, like it takes six months to a year to get a trademark fully pushed through. But trademark pending right now for the shop in the hobby space.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a
Um,
lot of cool.
we've mentioned mini Z's a couple times with your introduction. You mentioned it also. Was when you came back into RC, was it mini Z's that brought you back, or was it crawling?
Nope. Crawling was stupid. So I've always been a go fast guy. My day job is working in the automotive industry, but I work in one-to-one off-road stuff. We sell aftermarket off-road parts. And when I was living in Florida, which is where the office is based out of, and you go into that parking lot, my car was the only sports car in the parking lot. Everyone else was Jeeps, trucks, tacos, you name it, Broncos. They were there. I was the only car in the parking lot because I'm a sports car guy. I've been to SEMA like 7 times, and off-road stuff was cool, but I'd never really called to me, right? I thought it was slow. I like to go fast. So when I got back into small scale, when we got back into RC, I wanted to get that 24th scale that I told you about that got put in the box with the nitro. Moved back to Colorado after 17 years of being in Florida and opened that box up. And I was like, I need to get this nitro running for my dad for our birthday again. That'd be an awesome birthday present. It's about 3 months out to his birthday. And then I found that little 24th scale and I started doing research and I found that Mini Z was a thing. I didn't even know Mini Z was a thing. Found a local place that ran it. Went out there, the most welcoming community ever. Dude was like, hey, you were the one on Facebook asking about this? And I was like, yeah, I'm Ken. He's like, I'm Antonio. Take this controller, go drive the car. And he just made me go. I was like, no. I don't want to drive your car. I don't want to break it. Just go. It doesn't matter, And the second I got on that track, I was like, yep, I'm back into RC. Like, this is where it's at. And one of my buddies, months later, one of my buddies was like, you got these small crawler trucks that we do too. And I was like, dude, who wants to go slow, especially in an RC car? RC cars are for fast, for bashing and smashing and crashing, trying not to break the expensive parts. But that's what they're for, right? Like, you don't need to go slow. That's boring. And he's like, no, dude, just come out to Red Rocks and come crawl with me. So I went up there and I was trying to hit this line. He's like, just follow me. And I kept rolling. And I was like, this is stupid. Like, this can't be that hard. I can haul ass around a mini Z track. I can drive one of these stupid slow trucks. And as I was watching it, and I started to learn how the articulation worked and the way the weight transfers worked and the mechanics behind it. I'm at eye level, right? I'm not looking down at it. I'm at eye level, almost looking up at it because we're crawling up high. And I finally hit that line. I'm getting goosebumps right now. I finally hit that line. It gave me that endorphin rush of like, dude, I got in the flow state. I was feeling the flow, and, we locally have a guy named Theron. He runs 3Flow9. And I know exactly what that means. Like the flow state when you're crawling is something unreal. And I thought the same thing about drifting. Like drifting's dumb. You're not racing. You're going slow around a track sideways. Kind of cool, but how could that be exciting? It's the same. It's the same as crawling, where it's like you get into a flow state and you just feel it. You vibe. It's something unreal. It's different. If you've never, I mean, most people here obviously have crawled, but if you've never RC crawled, it's a cheap, easy way to get into crawling that's just like a different world than racing, but it's still as rewarding. I mean, I love it, man. Like crawling is my jam for sure. And I never thought it would be. I always thought, like I said, I thought crawling was dumb.
Well, and then that translates to the one-to-ones, and it's a whole
now I got
world.
a Bronco Raptor. Like I'd never owned a truck in my life up until November of this year. Never in my life. And that's never going to be a truck. The only reason I'd ever want a truck is so I could haul stuff. Like I don't care about anything else. But now that I've got that, I'm just like, I get it now. I understand what it is to be able to off-road and feel like you can kind of take technical lines and you get in a zone. It's a wild thing, man.
I would like it to be known that at Beat the Creek, my two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive Ford Fusion outperformed the four-wheel drive Dodge Ram that you guys were in. So
it did.
Because it was a quarter of the weight.
Just want to put that. Hey, it's 2 less drive wheels, man. With bald street tires.
It was pretty awesome to see. I think I got it in the video.
Says the one who didn't even pick up an RC at Beat the Creek.
Dirk, you're amazing. I just want to shout out to Dirk, Psycho 13 Garage.
Yes, he tagged a little bit ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
anyway,
he did.
All right, let's move on. I'll keep talking, bro.
I know.
The next thing we wanted to ask you really is you're obviously a huge, well, you're a pretty big YouTuber, right? And there's a lot of people out there.
I'm decent.
But in the community, you're a celebrity for sure. There's a lot of people.
I appreciate that.
Your presence and your involvement.
I appreciate
100%. And there's a lot of people who reach out to you. In fact, even when my son and me have a question, I'm like, taken something apart and we can't fix it, or we can't. I'm like, look up Ken. He's got a video on it, I'm sure. And sure enough, you've got a similar video, or not the exact same video. So you are kind of a celebrity, and people know you, and people know you for what you do for the community.
Thank you.
But that being said, what was the first brand that reached out to you when you hit that magic number on YouTube that said, hey, can we send you something?
So my first sponsored video was me reaching out to them, but it wasn't necessarily to get a free product. I reached out to ask questions because I knew I wanted to make a video on it, and it was Slime Ball's Flubber Stuffers, who's now Flub RC.
Cool.
And so he was like, I got you, bro. I'll just send them out. And I was like, whoa. All right.
That's cool.
Amazing. So he was my first sponsored, but I did reach out to them first. The next one that was a pivotal point was a Mini Z, the RX-28 from Reflex Racing, which this guy, Christian, he was a world famous racer. He came out to one of our big races locally, and I did an interview with him showing the prototypes of his car. And because he was building his own car, which was very unheard of for somebody that's not a bigger company to make the type of car he was making. And so I did a video on that, kind of an interview, put it up. We hit like 20,000 views. And he was like, I'm going to send you the final production model. That way you can do what you want with it, do a build video. And he didn't even ask for it. He's like, you can do what you want. You don't have to do a video. But I was like, I'm going to do a video, obviously. I got the first of this car. Like, I'm going to be the first one to have it. I'm doing a video. So I did a video on it. That video did fantastic. It's like a $300 chassis, a very expensive chassis for a Mini Z at the time. And so I was super honored to have Reflex caught me that. And then the real turning point was FMS. FMS reached out to me, and that's when it was like, it wasn't me reaching out to them. It wasn't me making a connection with somebody in person and doing a little work beforehand. It was FMS saying, hey, we want you to check this out. And it was for their butcher. And the ironic part was they were late. They were new to the game with kind of influencers. So they were late getting out the Power Wagons to people. And the Power Wagon released on Amazon early, like 2 weeks earlier than what their release date was supposed to be. So the crazy part is I already bought a yellow Power Wagon off Amazon, and I was one of the first people to have a video on the Power Wagon for FMS.
Wow.
And then as that video went up, they reached out and they're like, hey, we're going to send you a Power Wagon. I was like, I already have one.
What?
But they sent me one. They asked me what color. I said, they sent me a blue one. So I got a blue Power Wagon. And I ended up doing upgrade videos and 4-wheel steer videos and all kinds of stuff with that Power Wagon. But that was like, that was super honor. I felt honored that they wanted to send me one out. Even I told them, I was like, I already have one. I already did a video. And they're like, we don't care, here. We'll give you this. And then ever since then, I've had an amazing relationship with all these companies and more,
Nice. So that's
sure.
the Doug Power Wagon that we're talking about, right?
The Doug.
Yep.
Yeah. It's actually called the Butcher.
It was
The
called
Butcher?
the Butcher. You're right.
The
You're right.
Butcher.
It was called the Butcher.
So there's in the manual of that truck, in the instruction manual, in the first or second page, there's a story, like almost a whole page about I forget his name, but he ended up having a truck called the Butcher, and they would go through the Louisiana swamps and there's a whole story about it in there, and it's actually really fun to read. Yeah, it's called
Butcher Butch.
Butcher Butch.
Yeah. Love it. Love it.
So, all
That's
right,
a cool
Ken,
story. That's a really cool story.
Yeah,
I want to ask you about. I'm not going to ask you about the 8x8x8 because you've got that thing is very well known. You got it right there, though.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, you do.
I love that thing.
Okay. Is it running right now? Okay, sorry about that.
I need new transmissions. I blew the transmission on it.
One or more? How many? Just one?
Just one output shaft on with transmission. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna get some deluxe fabs in there.
Okay.
So, what is your second favorite build that you've done?
That's rough, man. That is rough. So I've got one that I've kind of sit over here because I use it a lot. I like show it a lot for some reason, and I don't know why. I didn't even do a video on it. Maybe that's what. So again, at another point of burnout, I was like, I just want to build something. So I built this, and I was like, I'll do a video after I build it so I can show. But I just never got back to it. But for some reason, I love the Mias MB. I love the Bronco. I'm not a Ford guy per se, but I've always loved the Bronco. And I like Mias as a company. It's got their ISO kinetics on it, which are insane.
It comes with your sticker.
That's true, and it comes with my sticker on it.
It does come with your sticker.
Somewhere, right there's one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we worked very closely with Mias on a lot of stuff. And this was one of the things that we gave a lot of feedback on early on. Like I have 3D printed versions of this that they sent me out to test. And so this truck, for some reason, it's got all like my favorite stuff on it. Like the only thing it's missing is some hard park. But it's got the Mias axles. It's got a 3-flow-9 servo on there, front, the Cascade and the Torrent on the rear with their dedicated rear servo mount or servo mount in general. It's got Mofo on it, trailing arms. I had to modify them, but it's got Mofo RC on it. It doesn't have hard park wheels. Totally spaced.
There you go.
Hard park wheels on it. It's got Little Guy Racing product tires on it. It's got Next Racing dual reservoir shocks. It's got Furatech in it, Micro Komodo. It's got OGRC skid plate and chassis rails, like just a lot of the companies that I really love. And there's more out there, but and this wasn't like the what purpose of this wasn't to highlight the companies I love. It was just like I want to build something, but I don't want to do a video. I just want to build it for me. And it's been an awesome truck. I customized it, cut the back off, made it look like more of a truck. And what's the truck version of the Bronco? El Chapo, El Diablo,
Oh, Diablo,
El
I think.
Loco. I can't remember. Somebody will know. But it's their Ultra 4 version of the Bronco
Yeah.
truck. So yeah, it's got just awesome stuff on it, and I love it. Like
You talking about the Ranger?
no, there's a get out of here.
I know.
Ranger.
The Maverick. Yeah,
Hey.
yeah, Chaz.
Mike has a question well, he said all three of us made it to Beat the Creek. Sam actually wasn't there this year. But now that we've had time to reflect, what were your thoughts? Ken.
Hands down, so far in my opinion, and I might get blacklisted for some other events, but it's the best event.
This was my first year and the conditions were absolutely terrible and it was so fun.
Yeah, the conditions were horrible. It was amazing. Beat the Creek. If you can make it at least once, you should. Moving forward, I know they're doing a lot of things to help streamline the process so that nobody gets left out. At least not at the gate, right? So, but it's amazing. Like
It is an amazing event. I was blown away. I went the year before, so I have been, and that I was blown away by the variety of things to do there. It's not just crawling. They have the construction area. They have the largest vendor village, I think is what they call it, I've ever seen in
There's like
any
200 vendors.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
massive.
insane. It's insane.
El Chapo.
So El
that's
Chapo.
That's not it. He's lying to me. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, so the point is Beat the Creek is by far one of the premier events. I would say.
It's so good, and the fact that it's on private property, and it's hosted by people that are hobbyists that just wanted to invite RC friends to come play.
100%.
And there were like,
brother.
and there were seriously like 5,000 people. I haven't seen the official number, but it had to have been around 5,000 people.
There were a lot of people there. Yeah, there were a lot of people. And for the kind of weather we had, I'm surprised anybody was there. But it was still amazing. Like,
and it was a blast. It was an absolute blast. Yeah. The people, anybody that made it on the grounds, had nothing but a positive reaction. The people that got turned away, they had some frustration and things like that, which is understandable. And so they were displeased with that experience, obviously.
I mean, I get it. I'd be displeased too, especially if I drove or, from far away or whatever.
Right. But it's one of those things. It's scheduled. It's the same weekend every single year. And who knows what the forecast is going to be? Nobody can control any of that, right? So, I mean, it's just people plan. It's a destination event, it's one of the biggest RC events in the country, if not the world.
There are people coming from out of the country to go to this event.
Yeah, we had Hemi Storm there.
Hemi Storm was there. The owner of Boom Racing from China, he came out.
Yeah.
The year before, we had the FearTech owner from Vietnam. Yep. He came out.
From Vietnam. Yep.
I think next year there might be some other owners from other overseas companies coming out that I know of. That I don't want to mention any names yet, but I'm pretty sure there's some other people coming in. That'll be awesome. And yeah, it's a great event. And we've got great sponsors for the event. We've got a great community around that event. Chad from Hard Park held some awesome microcrawler stuff because really the event is geared towards larger scale because that's the whole point. It's trails, miles and miles of trails. So it kind of leaves the minis nowhere to run. But this year, Chad really picked it up, and next year is going to be even bigger for the minis and micros. So that'll be awesome. Again, it's just one of those things. If you make it, go. I mean, there's a lot of great events out there. I'm not saying any events miss out on one to go to another, but at some point, go to Beat the Creek. You won't regret it, period. Not trying to do it now.
Completely agree with
that.
that.
I've been to a lot of events. So
I've been to 2, and that was my favorite one.
What was the other one?
Axial Fest Badlands last year.
Badlands.
And it was so hot and so dusty. It was not fun. And the vendor row was considerably smaller. I'll say that.
Yes.
We're 5 vendors. Anyway, I don't want to get blacklisted.
Yeah.
Axial Fest.
Axial Fest is good.
It is
I've
good.
had
It is good.
my
I was
my
really
first.
sad when they canceled them this year. I was very
Yes.
upset.
I
Yeah,
was
Actually.
looking
yeah,
forward to it. It was, again, the conditions last year were rough. It was so hot. It was so dry, but it was still a really good time.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then Pro Wine
yeah.
by the Fire is coming up, so hopefully we'll be there. I don't know what the situation is there yet, but we'll figure it out. We're not settled on anything, but I think we're going to be there.
Nice.
All right,
Perfect.
what's
Mount
next,
Olympus
gentlemen?
says they
Let's go.
got Mount Olympus said they got something brewing in Utah, so keep an eye out for that.
Okay, that's
Yes.
awesome. Utah's always got good stuff. You got Van up there really knocking it out of the park with everybody. So.
Yeah. 100%.
Ooh, Sam, you got a good question on here. I want to ask it.
Go ahead. Be my
Just
guest. Go
gonna steal
ahead.
your question. Ken, what is the wildest mod that you've ever tried that has worked?
Oh no, I don't know where it
No,
is.
not including the 8x8?
No, it's part of that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't know where it is right now.
Oh
I think it's
no.
in the. I think it's in the other room. It's my dual steer transmitter
Yeah.
Oh
with
yeah.
two wheels on it.
You
Right?
took
Like,
two
I
axial
gotta go
V1
get it.
transmitters.
You guys talk. I'll give you 2 seconds.
So
All right,
I'll do a little bit of an introduction on this transmitter because
oh.
it's so awesome. Like I've done 2 events so far with Ken, and he has it sitting out on the table with the 8x8. And people walk by and they notice the 8x8, and then he points out the transmitter as, like, the stock transmitter because it's the axial transmitter. And then move it a little, there it is. And like,
That thing's so wild.
the hesitation on people's faces before they realize, wait a second, there are
What?
2 wheels on there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
so it's a
is wild.
stock axial transmitter. Part of it was because I wanted to keep the stock. If you notice, this is running the stock ESC receiver combo. Even
That
though
way
we're
you could
running,
bring it to Badlands, right?
so I could take it to Axial Fest, and because
Yeah.
it's an SCX 24 based
Yep.
truck, it probably would pass without it, but I just wanted to pay homage to Axial for
Yeah.
building, one of the things that really kind of shaped the hobby in the mini space for crawlers. Like
Yeah.
Axial
100%.
did big things. So anyway, yeah. So
And
this thing, like, when I did
it
this,
is
I
a
was like,
conversation starter for sure.
it's cool. Yeah.
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 Very cool.
And I show how to do it so everybody's interested. It's pretty easy.
The video that you put out, like, it seems pretty straightforward. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it myself because I
We have to
I
learn
would
how to
it
solder
would catch
first.
on fire somehow
Yeah,
if
you
I
have to
tried
learn
it.
how to solder first.
And then my house would burn down, and I don't want that. So, but yeah, so that's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
Quick piece of advice from you for beginners. What should beginners not do when they get into RC?
Are you set? We get into RC in general? Don't spend too much money.
Touche.
It's
Clarify
easy.
a little bit. Expand on that for me.
So I think it's easy to kind of dive deep in. Well, at least for me, you can spend more money than you should on the hobby. I think you can do a lot with a little, right? So like if we want to tie it back into like crawling as an example, you could buy an SCX 24 or a Hobby Plus. Oops. Or any of these other small scale trucks for like under $200, right? For the
I
most
see
part.
what you did there.
So you can buy any of these trucks for like $129 or something like that, crazy, and they're really good, especially now. Like they're
Yeah.
really good. You don't have to go buck wild and put a ton of money into it if you don't want to. Don't feel like you got to keep up with the Joneses, right? Like it's easy as a new person to dump a ton of money into something, and then what you end up finding out is most of those upgrades hurt you because you didn't do them right, or you took it too far, or whatever else. Now you can learn from it. I like that, but you don't have to spend money to do that all the time.
That's huge. Just because it's listed as an upgrade doesn't mean it's going to increase or improve your performance.
100%.
I have learned that the hard way.
I try to stop it before it happens, but
But
do what people do.
to be fair though, then this is where what I love most about the hobby is you can do what you want to do in the hobby, right?
Uh-huh.
If you want something that's super scaled out
You want
and
to
looks
flex
phenomenal,
like an X, go for it. Like,
yeah, I mean, we've all done it, right? We all have done it this once, but
I don't know about we all. I don't know if Ken ever has.
well,
I have one.
he has
might be
one.
the exception that proves
it's
the rule.
It's a deadbolt. I know which one he's talking about, right?
I
Yep.
have one.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did so if I didn't have this limiting strap on the back, the whole axle would probably be down here.
Yeah.
So
But
this was my first SCX 24, and it's got some flexiness to it. It's a
yeah,
little floppy. It's got double barrels on it. You know, I love this truck though, and that's what's important. And again, you know, I give a
100%.
lot of shit to people, pardon my language, that do crazy flex. And you know, I think there was even a dig at Adam on the last, you know, Cape Crawlers on the last stream he was on with you guys, and I kind of dug at him, or you mentioned it. I don't remember what happened. Either way, that's how he kind of started on his channel. But what's nice about it, and the pure honesty of it, is that that's what got him in. That's what attracted him to the space, is that you can do wild stuff for a couple $100, not thousands of dollars, not tens of thousands on a one-to-one. To do something like this on a one-to-one and just experiment and have fun, I mean, you mortgage your house for that, but I can do it on an RC,
Right.
and it's irrelevant. It's not going to hurt me to break
Right.
apart or do something, put double barrels on there for $30. And I'm like, well, that was a bad idea. Let me put some oil fields on. I only lost a couple
Right.
bucks, you know?
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. And I appreciate that if it makes you happy, do it. If it makes you
100%.
learn, do it. Like if you have to learn through failure, that's fine. I would prefer that you try to learn from reputable sources and like learn the right way. But
Right.
if not, it's not a big deal as long as you find love for it.
Yeah,
Well,
and a
and
lot of people, they have to learn from their own experience.
That's true.
Right.
I can't
And
make
to
everybody
Sam's
learn one way.
and to Sam's point, it's to each their own, right? I mean, it's your
Yeah.
own personal preference. Not
100%.
everybody needs a comp crawler. Not
Right.
everybody
100%
needs a
true.
scale trail truck.
I mean, we have imports for a reason, like the import crews, the stance guys that do, you know, crazy camber. You can't even drive those cars realistically.
Right,
They
right.
handle like garbage, but they don't care. It's not about how well they handle. It's about how slammed they look, how tight the lines are. It's a piece of art to them.
Yeah.
They don't
Right.
care how it drives. And that's fine. If you don't care how your crawler drives, you know, to a degree, and you like to just see crazy articulation, not that it needs the side hill, just crazy cool articulation, and that makes you smile, then you did the right thing.
Yeah. 100%. And Ken, you and I've had this conversation numerous times. Going back to Adam, that's the beauty of what he's done, is regardless of what, you know, what philosophy or what you want to do in the hobby, I guess, Adam has brought a lot of people into the hobby. And
100%. And
it's a start.
That's the best thing ever. I don't care how you do it, as long as it's not hurting anybody or, you know,
right,
taking advantage of anybody. I don't care. As long as it gets people in, that's awesome, you know?
And it is. It's what he started with. It's what I loved at first, you know, and I have all sorts of rigs, but you're right. That's what I love about the hobby is you can do anything you want to do in the hobby, whether it's a scale truck, whether it's a hardcore rock crawler, or whether it's a flexi truck, whatever you want to do, you can do it in this hobby.
Yeah, 100%.
And
I'm huge on education. That's one of the reasons that sometimes stuff like that can bother me. And I don't know if it shows sometimes. And I'm like, oh, that's not how you do it. Just because I like people to know like why things work the way they do and what makes things work optimally. But I do understand that like sometimes people got to go through their own trials and fail, or they'd like it that way, and that's just how it is. And like at that point, I'm as long as you're happy with it, I'm good. What bothers me is when people are unhappy because they want performance or they want something a certain way, and they're like, this
100%.
sucks. Like this thing sucks. I hate it. I spent all this money on it and it sucks. And I'm like, well, that's because you built it totally wrong. You know, like what you're doing here may be what you thought was right, but it wasn't, and didn't get the goal you wanted. That's when 100%. I'm sad. That's when I'm sad. But if they're happy, then you keep doing it. I don't care. You know, that's awesome. I do it too sometimes. Like I said, I love flex stuff too, but you know, I know its limitations.
So let's look ahead a little bit, Ken. What kind of personal projects, what kind of collaborations do you have coming up that you're looking forward to that you can share with us? What do you got going on that you can look forward to?
Well, I got a lot of stuff in the back as far as collaborations with company, because I work with a lot of company. I mean, you're wearing them right now, Fear Tech. I work with those guys a lot. Next Racing, you know, I've even Red Cat. I've seen stuff that hasn't, like 6 months ago, that's not even out yet. Gave feedback on that stuff. So I'm constantly in the people think I put a lot of effort going to the public, with the videos and stuff, but I got just as much in the background that people never see, where I'm trying to put together, well, like the event stuff with you guys, like bring people out to events and show product at events and help improve products. And so anyway, a lot of stuff in the background. Some of it I can't talk about. What I'm kind of moving towards lately is this realm, which is not ideal for some of our community now because most of them are crawlers. But like I said earlier, I'm getting into drift a little bit. So I'm kind of excited to explore that world a little. It's hard because I want to explore all these different verticals in the space, especially the small ones, but they're all different communities, which is difficult because like the crawler guys aren't really the drift guys and the drift guys aren't really the race guys. So it's like I make new friends everywhere I go because they're all different communities. And well, I get it because you can only spend so much time on a hobby. It's hard for me because I want to spend all the time on all the hobbies.
I get that.
Yeah, it's a thing. But you, again, going back, you have brought gobs of people together. I mean,
I try.
and it's not just in it's not just in the crawler space. The crawler space obviously is probably the largest that I've seen from you. But I mean, every Friday night you're doing a live stream of mini Z racing and mini B racing, and I tune in quite regularly because
And I appreciate that.
I enjoy just seeing you do what you do, and it's raw and it's unedited, but I love that format, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to do a live stream because I love that raw, unedited.
Yeah.
I get to see who Ken is format. Now,
I wish I could dedicate to this format that we're doing right now. It's just so hard for me with everything. And I know it's only an hour and a half, but there's so much that goes on in the background that people
right.
don't understand. So, it's yeah. And as far as community stuff, like I've always just been a part of feeling like community is important. I met
Right.
all my best friends through the game stores and hobby shops. Like all my friends, my wife, her brother is my best friend that I met through gaming. The first time I ever saw my wife 10 years before we dated was her walking into a hobby store, to meet her brother and hang out with her brother. And it's like the hobby space communities are so important to me. And I think they're important to a lot of people because they're
Correct.
like-minded individuals. And that's why I run so many, people are always like, man, you made another Facebook group for whatever, Red Cat. Well, when Red Cat Ascent came out, like there was no Facebook groups to talk about the Red Cat Ascent microcrawler. So I had to make one so that I knew that there was a place for people that love that truck would have a place to talk and ask questions and get answers and learn and share their experience. And it's so important. I don't know, anybody that follows me real close knows that yesterday or the day before, we had a major issue on Facebook where we lost thousands of groups, and some of the groups were huge. And I had a 65,000 member Facebook group that just disappeared. Facebook just deleted it. Their algorithm got something wrong, and they basically shut off a bunch of groups. And I felt sick for the whole day. It was a 65,000 member Magic the Gathering group, and like for that to just disappear. And I've got the TRX4M group. It's about 50,000 members. I got a lot of large groups, and I spend a lot of time that people, again, don't realize how much time goes into moderating those groups and building those groups and staying on top of when a new group needs to be made. Because I don't like making groups that already exist. Just fractures the community. So yeah, I love community. I love to try to make people part of something, make them feel like they're part of something. And, I think that's what it's about, right? Just making connections with other humans.
100%. I love that you're that way. I mean, obviously our relationship started because you reached out to me. You saw something you liked I was doing and you reached out to me. And
I think
now,
the very first thing I told you was how to adjust your wall hangers, make your wall hangers adjustable before you even had crawler track stuff out, I
yep,
think.
yep,
Yeah, and you
yep.
just had like a 3D printed thing. And you're like, I'm making these wall hangers. Anybody interested? I was like, they'd be way more dope if you could make them adjustable. How do you do that? And like,
And
I think that's what started our first conversation.
it did. And I appreciate you for that. And I'll be honest, you become one of my best friends in the community.
Well, yeah, I appreciate
Because
that. Same.
because I don't know how many late nights we spent till 1, 2, 3 in the morning
Too
talking
many, brother. Too
about
many.
products. And I'll let all you know that Ken is a major player behind the scenes in how our product is developed because he is one to give me honest, real feedback. And I call him up at 2 in the morning and say, Ken, I need your help. and we sit there
Well, and I
and we
love
talk.
giving it. You
We
know, I'm
talked it
very.
through.
Anybody that knows me knows I'm super opinionated.
Yeah,
So,
but but it's
I am.
perfect because you tell us how it is and how it needs to be,
Yeah,
and
I don't have a good
you've
filter.
improved our product because of it. And
Yeah, and
that's
I try to do that with everybody I come in contact with. I want to make things better for them and better for what they're trying to do if I can. I've only got so much energy though, and people say like, I just see people like your enthusiasm, your energy, and I'm like, I don't know how I do it either, bro. Like, I had no caffeine today, no drugs. I'm drug free, dude. So it's like, I don't know, man.
no, but I really appreciate that, and I love the relationship that we formed, and thus I wouldn't know
Thank
Chaz
you.
if it wasn't for you. I mean, it's amazing the connections you make in the community, and I have you to thank for that. So, um,
So this is your fault, Ken.
it is all your fault.
I'm okay with that. I love it.
We have some rapid fire questions to kind of wrap up the
Yes.
discussion tonight.
All right, I'm getting hot.
It's going to be this or that. So
I'm
don't.
not good at these. It's gonna be both.
Nope.
No,
Don't
I'll try.
no,
I'll try.
you got to
give us
pick one or the other.
I'll
Yeah,
try
just
so
Got to.
hard.
first one that comes to your mind. Doesn't
I'll
even
try
have to be
so hard.
right.
I might not be able to give you. Okay, let's try it.
All right, Sam. You want
I've always wanted to do one of these.
Sam?
Okay,
You want to
well,
kick it off?
here we go. Okay. Scale garage or outdoor trail?
You see my
Come on,
scale garage? It's
come
um
on, Ken. You got 2 seconds.
outdoor trail. Outdoor trail.
Perfect.
Custom build or RTR?
Oh, custom build. Even though I do a lot of RTRs, I mean, well, so again, what are you asking about? Is it for me? Is it for somebody else? New
It
people
doesn't
RTRs
matter.
all day.
It doesn't matter. What is it? Which one for you?
Well, for me, custom builds, but
Okay.
RTRs keep the hobby growing.
Okay. Tiny tires or oversized tires?
Tiny tires.
Hmm.
Tuned suspension or tuned electronics? Yeah, that's a good one.
I love these.
I guess it depends on how bad the electronics are. If they're real bad, you can't overcome that. So I think electronics are more important.
Okay. Okay.
Unless you have like
Build not.
no suspension, like you're just like
Build night or crawl day?
I mean, I'm a night guy, build night,
Yeah, I could have guessed that.
YouTube or Instagram?
YouTube.
Perfect.
All
Decals
right,
or
hang on.
paint?
Let me modify that one real
Oh,
quick. YouTube or
oh,
TikTok?
YouTube.
Okay.
oh.
Again, it
Decals
depends on the
or
format. For me, it's YouTube, long form all day, right?
Yeah.
I
right,
appreciate TikTok and I appreciate Instagram and I'm on both and I post to both, but they're very different content.
Yeah.
for sure. Are you done, Chaz?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm messing up our own lightning round.
Decals or paint?
For me, decals, but I love good paint. I just suck at it.
Okay, fair
Budget
enough.
build or no limit build?
No limit.
Oh, 3S or 2S?
2S.
Wow.
Functional winch or aesthetic detail?
Comp guy says aesthetic detail. Fun guy says full working winch.
Fair enough.
That's
Because
lame.
winches,
That's
because
not fair
working
enough. That's
winches are
lame.
too slow in comp. Working winches are just too slow to use in comp. If you can use
W-
yeah.
It's true. It is true.
Yeah.
Uh, Night runs or morning sessions?
Wait, what was that?
Night runs or morning sessions? Like, are
Night,
you?
because I'm a
Yeah.
night person all the way.
Would
I
you
don't
would you
sell first
rather
one in the morning.
run? Would you rather run at night with lights, or would you rather get up early and go early
Oh,
morning?
night. If we
Night
could do
run?
more night runs, that'd be awesome. If we had lights out in the wild, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just did a night run with a couple trucks that are coming out tomorrow. Through like a river. Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
that'd
it
be
was
so cool.
awesome.
That'd be so cool.
Multi-channel transmitter or keep it simple?
Aren't they all multi-channel?
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean,
What are
you've
these
got like,
questions? I thought we were going to be
you've
more
got your
personal here.
simple ones. It's like 3 channels.
Where's the Coke or Pepsi, Taco Bell or Burger King's? Come on.
We
We're
haven't
getting
gotten there
there.
yet.
We're
Oh, we're
getting
still
there.
going. All right.
We're getting
Yeah.
there.
So I like lots of functionality. So yeah.
This is the slowest lightning round we've ever done. We've only done
Sorry.
2 of them.
Go.
Yeah, yeah. Out of the 2, this is the slowest one.
Faster, faster,
Okay.
faster.
Okay. Here we go. Ford or Chevy?
Ford.
Brushed or brushless?
Brushless.
Why do we even ask that? That's anyway.
Yeah. Spaghetti or lasagna?
Lasagna.
Indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors.
Slow crawl or speed run?
I don't like speed runs. I like racing.
Okay.
Okay. Then crawling or bashing?
Crawling.
Oh, he caught himself. 24
Crawling.
scale? 24 scale or 6 scale?
24 scale.
Psycho Garage had one 24 scale or 10 scale?
24 scale.
All right. You're up, Chaz.
Lobster or crab?
I don't eat seafood. If it came out of the ocean, throw it back.
Thumbs down fart noise on that one.
Coke or Pepsi?
Steak. Sprite.
Steak. Sprite. That's a Coke product.
You're messing up our lightning round, Kenneth.
Go faster.
Orange juice or apple juice?
Orange juice.
Summer or winter?
Winter inside, summer outside.
Oh my gosh.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs all day.
City or country?
Suburbs.
You're the worst. RMRC, helicopter or airplane?
Ooh.
Drone?
Oh, that's
You're
not
going out of your
fair.
way to mess this up for us.
That
Ken.
is not fair.
Helicopter, if I could, yeah. Again, that'd be
Then-
something where I drop everything else and I'd only do helicopters, I guess.
Then I'm doing this next one, and I know the answer already, but I'm doing it anyway. Jeep or Bronco?
Come on. Bronco.
I have a
Bronco,
Jeep.
bro.
He has a Bronco. I've always wanted a Jeep until the Broncos came out, but
And I've
yeah.
always wanted a Bronco, and oh wait, that's it.
Android or iPhone?
My brother-in-law has a Jeep, and I love it. They're fun, but I like the Broncos.
Android or iPhone?
iPhone,
Mac or PC?
PC,
Marvel or DC?
Batman,
DC. Onion rings or French fries?
fried mushrooms.
My, oh God, Ken! Why do I know this was going to be a disaster?
I'm not left or right. I'm in the center, sir.
I know you are.
I don't know where I threw my notes away.
We got through. Okay, we got the rest. We got 10 more of these. Vanilla or chocolate?
Chocolate,
Mountains or beach?
mountains.
Traxxas or Axial?
No, let me modify that one. Kyosho or Axial?
Oh, there you go. There's a good one.
You're like pitting me against my crawler crew and my race crew.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's the point.
Pick one.
Axial.
He sided with us. That's nice.
I can't believe he actually chose one.
I know, right? Portals
Trying
or
to be
straight?
honorable here.
Portals or straight axle?
Ooh. I like straight axle.
Scale crawler or comp crawler?
Comp crawler, even though I suck, unless it's really dope scale with like power windows and music and windshield wipers that work, then that wins.
Lexan or hard body?
Hard body.
Hard body.
Nike
Nice.
or Adidas?
Unless you're racing, then it's Lexan. Nike or Adidas. Vans?
Yeah.
Vans.
Fans. All right. Podcast
Old
or
man
playlists?
Skechers? Old man Skechers? I don't
Old
know.
man Skechers. Podcasts or playlists?
Ooh, podcast.
Camping or boating?
Vlogs. What? Boating?
Vlogs.
What was it?
Camping or
Yeah.
boating?
Oh, camping.
All right. Pirates or ninjas?
Ninja Pirates. I like pirates. R. What's pirate's favorite letter?
Spicy or mild?
You think it'd be the R, but it'd be the C.
See, yeah, I've heard that one too. Dad jokes.
Spicy or mild?
Spicy.
Okay, and the last one, we have to do it, but we know the answer. Oil filled or friction dampened?
That's the dumbest question ever. I don't know who likes friction dampers. Sorry, Adam, who said friction dampened. Like, what?
I couldn't believe he did.
What? He
Yeah,
said friction dampened. What?
yeah, yeah. Well,
I don't
there you go.
why would you ever want friction dampened shocks?
Well, Articulation Nation is more about the length and the flex
So
than
if you're
it is
using
about the
double
balance.
barrels because you can't have oil filled, so you have to have double barrels, then I guess. But like,
I
why
mean,
would you ever want friction shocks on a crawler or anything?
I've seen
Ever?
more 64 millimeter double barrels than I have 64 millimeter oils. You know,
Because you don't, because that's stupid.
not if you want flex.
No,
Oh,
that's true. It's true. It's true.
we have lost control. We lost
No,
control the
oil
first two
filled because
minutes.
that's the highest performance. I think one of your questions was one of my what's a wow moment in the RC space, and it was when the next shocks came out, and I
Yeah,
was like, oh my
There,
god, the fact that they
I
got working reservoirs on a 24 scale shock just blew my mind.
yeah.
I watched your video on that, and you were like the whole time you were like, "This is unreal." I mean, those
The
parts in there,
the
itty bitty.
precision they have to machine those at, and then for the price, they're like $40. Like
Yeah.
what? Those should be $100 shocks all day. Like,
No, no, don't tell them that. No, they shouldn't.
well, they're not
I
gonna
know that.
they're not gonna do
No,
that.
I
But
get it.
but
I
like
get
I'm
it.
just saying the amount of
Yeah,
like design
yeah.
and precision in those things, amazing.
Pretty amazing. Pretty dang amazing. Well, guys, we're over our time with Ken. I would love to. We all know we could all sit here and chat for hours on end,
See, chat
but
knows oil filled.
oh,
The
the
chat
chat,
knows. Thank you,
the
They
ch-
chat.
know.
the chat is right.
Also,
Um,
RC Granny dropped it in the comments earlier. I just want to second it. Go ahead, hit the like button real quick. Make
yes,
sure that once this is kind of done and posted, give it a share, all that good stuff. Yeah, the quadfecta, like,
yeah.
subscribe,
Are there
comment,
any
and share.
questions from the chat? I'm gonna make this go longer, and chat's gonna help.
Any
I don't think
questions?
there's any.
Now's your
Last
time,
shot, guys.
guys.
Last
Last
shot.
shot. You got Ken live right here. Now's your shot.
Um,
Um,
Cody had this or that for the lightning round.
Ooh,
Cody Pringle, short stacks RC. Um, Sam or Chaz?
oh, God.
wow, that's freaking rude.
No, it's not. Pick Sam.
I already know.
Chaz,
I already know the answer. It's Chaz. I'm
Cam,
telling you that right now.
it's me, myself. Come on now. SCX for
Oh my
24
gosh.
TRX4M. SCX.
There you go. Why did I shave my head? Because I can't stand long hair, and I told my wife, I said, just cut it all off. So we
Favorite
cut it
mini
all
Z
off.
class. Oh, if I was better, I'd love mod, but I love box stock to get new people in. But the one I race the most is probably 2500 lipo.
Oh, wow.
Somebody asked
What's your
about that.
stance on the mini Z crawlers?
So here, okay. I wish that 24 scale trucks were 24 scale. And so in that sense, I love that the mini, like the CR8, CR24, the mini Z, those are like the closest ones to 24 scale. The SCX 24 is a 20th scale. I wish they were a little smaller personally. I know some people have a hard time working on stuff that small, but I like small scale stuff, but then the other side of me, like a lot of those questions I answered outside. I like to crawl outside, and it's hard to crawl outside with the Kyosho. If you have an indoor dedicated track or course, like a model train course, where it's like a huge thing in your yard, in your basement, amazing. They're awesome. They're small, they're great. I love the size. I love the detail. They're just not big enough to crawl outside, even with mods. That's what makes me
Yeah.
sad.
You
Yeah.
had
And
mentioned the CR24 a couple times tonight. If our friends at Hobby Plus are watching, I have been on them. I want the CR24 to come roaring back. That is legitimately one of my favorite 24 scale crawlers. It's simple, but it's good.
Yeah, I've
right.
asked them the same stuff. They have some reservations. They don't want to compete in the 24 market, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
And
love it too. I think they're awesome trucks. I think they're worried about ring and pinion being not as good as worm gear, and they don't want to
Yeah.
go worm gear. I actually talk about it in this video that'll be posted tonight in a couple hours for that truck. I
Wait,
talk
when's your
about
video posting?
what
When's your video posting?
tonight, like at,
What?
at, at midnight Eastern.
Oh,
Least time.
I need to change my time.
When you're posting.
I had a schedule for 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, you can do that.
You
I
can
know
do
I
that.
can.
And you guys got your rigs, and mine's still in shipping. So here we go. I'm losing out. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. It's still shipping. I don't know where it is. It's still shipping, but
Yeah,
we'll get there.
I
We'll
I
get
don't want
there.
to be rude. I don't want to be rude. There are some new trucks coming out at midnight tonight. They're really good. I'm just gonna say that. Look out for the videos. They
Right
are very
over
good.
there. He kind of moved a little bit.
People have seen them already.
Yeah,
I'll show you this much of it because people have already seen them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to tell you much about it. But
Yeah.
but I've talked a lot to the Hobby Plus owner, and they worry about competing with worm gears. And I tried telling them, you can do ring and pinions. I mean, they do ring and pinions in these.
Yeah.
And these are
Mhm.
freaking tiny.
Yeah.
But they're worried that the diffs are too big. They said, again, one of the main things was going to 18th scale was that they wanted to use ring and pinion and not worm
Pinion,
gear. So they
not
felt
worm
like it was
gear.
a better fit for 18th scale, which is why they focused
Yeah.
on that.
They've done a great job with 18 scales.
Yeah,
I'm going to
amazing.
keep ringing the CR24 bell
I'll
because
help.
I really like those trucks.
Could you
I'm in.
imagine if they built a CR24 that was as good as these?
Dude,
Oh,
Like they used all these parts, but
I
like
it would
I
be
think they
phenomenal.
could. Like if
oh, they could.
they wanted to, if they had
Yeah,
the
100% they
interest
could.
in it, and it would be so good. But I mean, I get it's a very
There's a
flooded
lot of
market.
business decisions that
Yep.
happen to make
Yep.
that.
Right.
And these things,
100%.
a new platform doesn't come out in like 6 months. Like it takes
No.
many, many more months than that to make
Yeah.
a truck come to fruition.
Well, and
Yeah.
then aftermarket support, I mean, that's a huge part of it as well,
Yeah.
So anyway, Ken, where can they find you, man?
Everywhere. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Facebook. I'm on X.com, Twitter. I'm on here. I don't know. I'm everywhere. Like just
Everywhere.
look up the shop mini RC. You'll find me anywhere. Look up the shop. You can find me there too. The shop hobbies.com, like I said, has a link to all of my different YouTube channels and Facebook groups and whatever else I'm kind of touching in the
Platforms.
platforms. Yes, sir. So yeah, but mostly YouTube, youtube.com/the shop mini RC.
Cool. Well, thanks, Ken, for being on. Really appreciate it. I know you take time out of your busy schedule to come and join our little show here.
No, I love what
Really
you guys are
appreciate it.
doing. Like you guys keep doing it. I've been excited since day one. If I saw you guys team up, I'm like, this is gonna be good. This will be fun to watch. So
Couple of bozos just having a good time, I guess.
no, that's
Yeah,
what
right.
people like to watch the idiocy. So
But as Sam mentioned, though, I mean, your guys' connection, and then like Sam and I got connected in a roundabout way because of the connection between you and me, and so I mean that just led to everything. So that was a very purposeful decision, was to have you on this show as early as we could, because I
I
mean
appreciate it.
just out of an appreciation and a respect, and
Not
you know,
because you
so
like what I do, but the appreciation and respect I give it.
yeah, no, I actually don't like
Yeah.
it at all, but.
Chat
fact,
is
he
like
unsubscribed.
long form serious content. Are you kidding me? Give me goopy BS all day.
Yeah, like am I watching PBS over here? What's going on?
PBS.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh, Chaz.
No,
All
So, but no,
right.
dude,
I love what you guys are doing too. Like
we
both of
appreciate
Thank
you
you.
coming on, man. We appreciate your time. We appreciate all the support that you've shown to both of us. Um,
Absolutely.
all the assistance you've given Sam with the product development, all the help you've given me
100%.
whenever I ask stupid questions about how to YouTube and how to play with RC cars, because I don't know.
It's true. Ken, you're amazing, and you're an amazing support in the community. We love you, brother. And
Well,
with that
I
being,
appreciate everybody in the chat, everybody hanging out. My iPad died, so I can't see chat anymore. But thank you to everybody in the chat. You guys are
yeah,
awesome. You guys are what make the hobby worth doing and make this
100%.
part of the hobby worth doing. Without the community, like I have no reason to do this. Without the interaction from people, and my favorite thing is when somebody walks up to me at an event and they're like, "I got in because of you," or "You helped me fix a problem that almost made me quit." Like that's like the most heartwarming thing ever, is to bring people together, help people have a good time, help people smile. Kids, I've had a kid ask me to sign their truck for him, and like my heart broke. Like Nick broke in a good way, like I
Yeah.
was just like, what? No,
Melted.
like it
It
melted. That's the
melted.
word.
It
There you
melted.
go.
I'm
Melted.
not good with words sometimes.
Melted.
It melted. Yes, my heart melted.
Yeah.
It was awesome. So I love to see that. So it's really about the community, guys.
Yes, it is. And you guys are awesome. Ken, I think we're going to wrap this up a little bit different. We're going to wrap this up with you doing your outro on our show.
Well, why don't you guys make sure you like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell? Do all those things you like to do to support channels that you love and content you want to see. And get out there and build something awesome. Build a car course community. Don't forget to smash it, crash it, and bash it, but don't break the expensive parts. Peace.
Peace, guys.
Love you guys.